Wait. Yes. Um, so have I recorded it? Hmm. Yes, thank you, Lina, for joining our third session. And today, we're really looking forward to open-mindedness. I think that it is generally that everyone knows what it is open-mindedness. So without further ado, let's jump into our session. Yes, so why do you think like mindedness is important in communication? Yes, for me personally, open-mindedness play a very key role in terms of like teamwork and communication in your family. Because maybe you can be a leader, like boss or some kind of um people who in charge in managing many other staff in an organization or a family had which control over everyone. So it's important to actually try to open to everyone and try to understand everyone by listening to their ideas, what they want to say, and respect their ideas, they respect their opinion, and try to understand why they want to do this to that. And if you see that um, they're doing is wrong, just tell them to change in some certain aspect to actually try to make them like improve them as you being a supervisor or something like that. Uh, the given definition of open-mindedness is that from Cambridge Dictionary is referred to the quality of being willing to consider ideas and opinion that are new or different to your own, which means that you always try to gain more ideas, gain more opinion from anyone, and especially the different ideas to you, to yourself, and try to understand why do these people have the same ideas like us, like me, or like you, or different from you? Yes. And another definition given by the University of Pennsylvania is that open-mindedness refers to the willingness to search actively for evidence against one's favorite belief, plans, or goals, and to weigh such evidence fairly when it is available. So it is that you have your own ideas, you have your own thoughts, and then you are trying to seek for other ideas that different from you with a proof evidence. And when you are having time, you can actually weigh between your ideas, your thought, and others to see why we are different and what are the different. Wait, oh, okay. So why what are the causes that cause different and does do the ideas or thoughts between you and others are have generate the same outcome or anything else? Yes. So that's also the definition of open-mindedness. So next I'm going to talk about some characteristics of being open-minded. So there are some key factors to open-minded. So the first thing is that being caring. So it's like caring someone is that you show empathy, show compassion and respect toward the need and feelings of others. So for them, they have like a personal commitment to service and act to make a positive difference to the life of others and to the environment. So for you being open-minded, you always think and observe other people's thought and being positive about everything and try to make it different in others, try to care about them and show them that you have you can do this, do that by working together uh to toward a j- a common goal. Yes. And yes, most of the time, open-minded is can be everywhere. And what is carrying kind of attitude is that you have to put it in mind, and most of the time you need to use this kind of attitude in your family, among your family members, showing that you respect that what they do is what they're doing, and you always encourage them to do what they love. Um, and another characteristic is being a thinker. So as a thinker, you exercise initiatively in applying thinking skills critically and creatively to recognize and approach complex problems and make reason, ethical decision. So being open-minded is also important to actually think critically about some problem and also being creative at the same time. Actually try to solve any tough uh, situation, especially at a workplace or a life problem, and you came up with an ideas and also supporting detail about your ideas, and then you execute um, the ideas into action in order to solve those problems. And especially you need to do that reasonably with confidence and thoughts along the way to actually achieve something beautifully. Um, so next is about the reflective. So being open-minded is that you reflect on other people, like you give a thoughtful consideration to your own learning and experience, and then you compare it to other people to see what can be the difference between you and others, and then you are able to assess and understand other people's strengths and limitation in order to support um, their learning and personal development and more. It's not just only their learning and personal development. It's about self-improvement. It's about education. It's about the communication skill. Anything, just that you need to be reflexive and you need to. And firstly, you need to understand them. Yes, when you understand yourself and you understand other people well, you will understand to how to actually make someone um, develop on a certain aspect of their life. Like in this picture, that reflexive is that you understand other people and you compliment them. That um, you always thinks about anything before and after you do something. Yes, and just try to achieve um, the coherence between communication with you and other people, especially educate them to be a better person or to be a better some certain aspect. And another one is about the communicator. So as a open-minded person, you need to actually be able to have a very good communication skill, which means that you are able to talk to other people in a way that you can gain a lot of benefit. It's not like you just keep on talking to someone in a long conversation, but at the end of the day, you don't get any ideas or you don't express any thought or any new information to that person. And by being a communicator, first you need to understand, express ideas and information confidently and creatively. Sometimes it can be in more than one language or in a variety modes of communication. So a variety mode of communication here, which means that it can be face-to-face conversation, it can be an online workshop, it can be an online meeting, or it can be an expected between someone or between stranger and you in a public area, and you can able to communicate with them smoothly without any problem, and you can achieve a lot of things during that conversation. And another point is that it's also important for you to take responsibility for your own action and the consequences that accompany with them. Accompany them. So, as important as it sounds, everyone live by their mouth. So, sometimes your mouth can kill you. Sometimes your mouth can actually develop you into somebody else. As in social media, most people who don't learn properly, they always like using n-word, bad word to anyone, or it actually cost them a lot of money and sometimes jail time as well. And for the communicator here is that you need to communicate in a way that being a professional communicator, and you actually know what are the outcome or the consequences of the thing that you are doing, every single move that you make. So next, we will be watching a video regarding to the true definition of being open-minded. So far, do you have any question before we jump into the video? So you don't have any question. So next, we will be watching a video regarding to the what is the true definition of being open-minded, which will be presented by the Mariam von Dushkash from TED Talk with Exated University.
How
Excuse me. Okay, I thought I was open the mic.
many of us say that we're open-minded? I'm sure a lot of you think that, so please, if you do, raise your hands. I used to think and believe that about myself too, until I started my first semester in university. And that's when it all changed. I remember on the very first day, as I walked into the classroom and sat right next to the wall, I started looking around me and I was like, no, not her. Yes, maybe her. And it struck me. How can I call myself open-minded when I'm literally making my decisions based on my own perceptions and ideas of who the person in front of me is, and without getting to know them at first? And as ironic as it sounds, I used to hate it when people misjudged me as being close-minded or assumed that I wouldn't understand them because of the way I chose to dress. And it felt terrible. And I realized that that feeling that I had is what it must have felt every time I misjudged someone. And I did not want to know myself as the person who judged others because it's not the way that I was raised to be. And so I really wanted to change. I truly wanted to become open-minded. But at the time, I still had the wrong understanding of what open-mindedness was. I was scared. I was scared that I would lose myself in the process. I was afraid that I would have to change my values, my priorities, and agree with things that I did not necessarily agree with. But fast forward to the next semester. That is when it all changed. In one of my psychology courses, my professor said, acceptance does not mean that you agree. And at that moment, I was like, yes, this is the answer. I can be open-minded and without having to change the person that I am. And so I started reading more about what open-mindedness truly meant. And I learned that it's a trait that comes to you through practice and experience. It's not something that we're all just born with. And so I promised myself that I would not judge anyone. And even if it happens automatically, because it does, I shouldn't let it affect my attitude or my behavior towards others. I promised myself to be accepting, to experience the beauty of diversity and the joy of tolerance. And I truly believe that through having an open mind towards diversity, tolerance will come with it naturally. And tolerance to me is when you choose to look past people's differences without judging who's right and who's wrong, because we are all different and we were created different. So how can I expect everyone to be alike? That's not possible. And so after multiple experiences throughout my life, I finally understood what open-mindedness truly meant. It's not at all about the outside and what people appear to be. It is all about the inside, about the mind and how we choose to think. And so now, when I walk into a classroom and look around me, I think to myself, these are all students that are just like me, that I'd love to get to know. And so I encourage you all to look back at your own experiences and ask yourselves, am I really open minded? Thank you.
Yes. So this is the end of video. Yeah. What do you think about the video? For me personally, the key concept to this is that you don't need to agree on everything. If you consider yourself to be open-minded, yes, you think everyone thinks that open-mindedness is that you have to agree on everything that people say. But the thing is, you can accept them, you can accept their opinion, but you don't need to agree with them. You need to actually, if you want to understand about something, what their opinion, you can ask for the reason, for the evidence. Even though you accept it, but you want to learn more about why they chose to be what they chose. And as she mentioned in the video, is that acceptance never meant to be, you know, acceptance is different from agree. It's not the same. And as if you are consider yourself to be open-minded, um, is that try to actually practice the way to think that you need to understand, you need to listen carefully to everyone's mind, what they are thinking, and try to put yourself in their shoe in order to understand what they want to achieve, what they want to say to you, and try to understand the opinion as well. So this is my opinion, and if you have anything else to add, you can feel free to say it now, because I think it was a very wonderful video.
Yeah, I think it's a good video.
So personally, do you think yourself is an open-minded person, Lina?
For me, I think it's depend on some situation, but mostly I'm not.
Yes. Especially when you first arrive to the US, I think that you have a lot of things that you might experience firsthand because it's have a like different culture between Cambodia and the US. And yes, and more likely that most people are open-minded, friendly, but most of the time, I'm not sure about other culture, but in Cambodia, if you are quiet, if you don't say anything, like most people don't really approach you until like if they have anything else important to actually want to talk to you.
I
Yes.
can say that people here are more open-minded because like they always find a way to approach you, even just like you walk past them and they will just say good morning to you, even you guys don't know each other.
Yes, it's a kind of a norm or mm, everyone used to it, and it's a very good uh, example because even though in like Cambodia, whenever you have bad mood, driving along the road, when you smile at someone and you smile back, gives you a sense of security. Yeah. So not likely that most people kind of bump into you, gonna say hi in Cambodia. Yeah.
I think they're gonna laugh if you smile at them.
Yes.
Mm.
So for the conclusion, yes, I got a quote here from George Bernard Shaw. He said that the open mind never acts when we have done our utmost to arrive at a reasonable conclusion. We still must close our mind for the moment with a snap, act dogmatically on our conclusion. Do you understand this quote? So first, you don't need to do. You should not act until you come to a conclusion, a reasonable conclusion, and then you can just think what behind all this conclusion. And when you understand about the message that the conclusion want to tell you, you actually um, do you understand and you do accordingly to that conclusion. Especially your your conclusion, everyone conclusion, because every messages have their reason, and their reason need to be acknowledged to actually understand. And yeah, so this is the end of the session. And if you have any question, you can ask. Yeah.
Do you think that people who are always um open, like they are open-minded, always get the advantages?
Uh, in terms of advantages, personally, I don't really think so because mostly like if you work in a group, if you are open-minded person, you have a lot of ideas coming from everyone in the team, and actually you need to listen to everything. But when you actually know that there are some bad idea or bad opinion from your colleague, you can feel actually frustrated or irritated sometimes because you cannot tell them that your idea is bad. I cannot follow any of yours, and his idea is better. So it's creating comparison between opinion in the organization, and sometimes it can lead to actually bad consequences and activity as well. Yeah.
Yep, that's all for my question.
Yes. So thank you for joining our session. I hope that you can get some idea out of this session today, and I hope to see you again next time on our next session. Thank you.